All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Shido-Finance and Chill, episode number 6. We are waiting for Arno. He will be joining us whenever he has some time. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Man, oh man, has it been a crazy week. Lots of bullish stuff, lots of things happening. We're going to play some videos tonight for the community, a couple that I really want everyone to pay close attention to. And one, props to Arno for bringing up, is this interview in 2014 with Vitalik Buterin. And we're just going to let it play because what I want everyone in the community to see is the parallels between Bjorn and Vitalik. And what Vitalik was bringing to the community in 2014, let's be honest, nobody gave a shit about. People were like, yeah, whatever. Like, Ethereum is never going to be what you say it's going to be. And then Ethereum became the foundations for every altcoin and has minted millionaires since its foundation. So we're going to watch that video because, to me, that's really impactful. When we have a dev like we have with Bjorn and Shido-Finance and everything that's being built, the parallels are spooky. They're too hard to miss. So we're gonna dive into that. But before we get to that video, we're gonna talk about the cream of the crop, the only video that everybody should be circulating around Twitter right now, and that is the conversation with Jake Gagan, B Roots, and Ian Heinich. And I want you to listen closely to what B Roots says about Shido, because this right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is power. You guys need to be shilling this everywhere. So I'm going to mute myself. We're going to play this video. We're going to talk about it. And then when Arno gets on, we'll definitely loop back around to this. But without further ado, let's play this video.
Think they changed
I bought
the
it
logo.
too. I bought it.
Let's see it.
I bought it. Good move. Very good move.
Let's see it.
See it.
And we pulled
When
up
did it come
Ushi.
on, B-Roots? Did I miss that?
Yeah, you're
No,
first,
you wait. No,
was
you
just-
you heard the
You and
original
Croat.
one. You
You
heard
and
the
Croat.
original one, and then they came back on.
And then that's when you bought?
I bought. Yeah, it's probably the best chart in crypto.
fake news.
Let's see it. Besides ETH 2.0
Besides Volt,
and Volt.
No, I mean realistically,
looks good.
Volt is not at all time high. This surpassed an all time high, and it's been out for a while.
it's a 6 million market cap. We're talking about 250 million. This is apples to oranges, baby.
It's still not the best chart.
We're
It's
talking
still
about the big
down
leagues.
60% from the all time high.
Talking about big leagues.
Oh, it's doing that's
Shido
big.
changing the logo. Yeah, I like Shido. I was like, yeah, I like Shido.
It's 6 million market cap.
Think they
I
changed
bought
the
it
logo.
too.
All right. So what I want you guys to take away from this video is a couple things. B Roots just called the Shido chart the best chart in DeFi. Now, I'm not going to compare us to other projects out there, and we're not going to go down that road. What I'm going to say though is a lot of projects are artificially pumping their charts to make themselves look good in this market. Shido has never done that once. We are 100% organic, and we've got people's attention. Now, B Roots, shout out to the Moon King himself. He's all over Shido. We welcome you to the Shido family. We got Jake Gagan, who is telling everybody live on his broadcast, I like Shido. I like what they're doing. And we got Ian Heinich's attention. So for the community, what I need you guys to do is to rally around these three gentlemen, and I need to see tweets out there talking about the utility, a groundbreaking wallet, our DEX that's launching this month in November, our Visa MasterCard that we're going to get into because, man, was there some bullish information from Bjorn today about that. 156 individual countries at launch of the Visa MasterCard. It's not a prepaid loadable card. It's a legit certified third-party KYC to a registered bank with 156 countries that it will service at launch. That is so bullish for Shido. That is some of the coolest stuff. You've got that coming in November. You've got the 7-layer multi-hop DEX, the 7-chain DEX. You got atomic swaps popping off left and right. We've got built-in burn mechanisms in the DEX. So we're going to start extremely hyper-deflationary burning Shido with every transaction happening on the DEX. We have so much happening in just November, and we've just barely touched the tip of the iceberg, right? Then we've got the perpetual platform that first and foremost is coming December. That is massive. That perpetual platform with 100x lending positions, you can long and short crypto without massive penalties. I don't think people understand how massive this is, how huge this is for the crypto space. There's nothing out there that allows you to do this right now. Nothing. And you're going to have that in the Shido platform. 100x leverage positions, longs and shorts. If you want to bet against the Bears and the Bulls, we have a platform for you to do that. Then you've got the DAO, being able to control aspects of that perpetual platform through the DAO. You've got the play to earn gaming platform. And then the cream of the crop, the absolute cream of the crop, is the layer 1 blockchain in 2023. Guys, I'm telling you, you're at the ground level of something that most people would dream to be able to get a hold of at this entry point. You're at the ground level of a project building its own blockchain with actual full governance and utility purpose behind it. Not just building a blockchain to say we have a blockchain, but actually building a blockchain and implementing protocols that make sense in the DeFi space. Shido is building a complete banking ecosystem in DeFi. And after what we have seen today with FTX and Binance, this shines a beacon of light on Shido as to why this is so important for the DeFi space. So we're going to play this video one more time. I want you to listen closely to what these men say. I want you to show this everywhere because this is as important. This is as important in many retrospects as the Binance AMA was to the blockchain. This is some of the biggest influencers in the DeFi crypto space, crypto sphere, that are now talking about Shido. You have the attention of people who have massive followings that are starting to realize Shido is here to stay. Shido is the next major play, and they need to get in, and they need to get in now. So we're going to play this video one more time for everybody so you understand what is happening here.
Think they changed
I
the
bought it
logo.
too. I bought it.
Let's see it.
I bought it. Good move. Very good move.
Let's see
Let's
it.
see it.
And we pulled
When
up
did it come
Ushi.
out, B-Roots? Did I miss that?
Yeah, you're
No,
right.
you wait. No,
We
you
just-
you heard
Me
the
and
original
Croat.
one. You
Me
heard
and
the
Croat.
original one, and then they came back on.
And then that's when you bought?
I bought. Yeah, it's probably the best chart in crypto.
Fake news.
The best chart in crypto. You heard it right there from B-Roots. The best chart in crypto.
Let's see it. Besides ETH 2.0
Besides Volt.
and Volt.
I mean, realistically,
good.
Volt is not at an all-time high. This surpassed an all-time high, and it's been out for a while.
Yeah, it's a 6 million market cap. We're talking about 250 million. This is apples to oranges, baby.
It's still not the best chart.
We're
It's
talking
still
about the big
down
leagues.
60% from the all-time high.
We're talking about big leagues.
All it's doing is retesting
Shido
big
changing logo. Yeah, I like Shido. I was like, yeah, I like Shido.
It's 6 million market cap.
Think they changed.
All right. So one final time to reiterate that, guys. You know, we're not trying to compare ourselves to Volt. We're not trying to compare ourselves to any project out there because there's, frankly put, no project compares to us. What we are bringing to the DeFi space, nobody else is attempting to do. We are on a totally different level than any other project in the crypto sphere, period. There is no other project that touches what Shido-Finance is doing in our sphere. In my opinion, Shido is the king of utility in the DeFi space, specifically utility focused around finances and ensuring that you have complete and total control over your DeFi assets. Because after what we saw today, and let's touch on that,
I
We got
bought
a
it
logo.
too. I bought it.
man, was it a nightmare, right? Let's get into this tweet on FTX. Because a lot of crazy stuff happened today. I was at work watching most of this, and it was insane. Absolutely insane to see the news. We heard the rumors last night that Shido-Finance and FTX kind of went to war, right? And we were watching the FTX token, the price just plummeting. We saw Solana plummeting. And then the entire crypto market today took an absolute disastrous dump. We're recovering with a very healthy recovery at this point, especially Shido, which goes to prove further what we have on the table and what we're bringing to the table. People understand. But I want to show, excuse me, my lord, I want to show the tweets tonight of exactly what happened because it was crazy. So we go down here. The first thing we're going to look at, right here. Okay. So Shido-Finance this afternoon FTX asked for our help. There is a significant liquidity crunch. To protect users, we signed a non-binding LOI intending to fully acquire FTX.com and help cover the liquidity crunch. We will be conducting a full DD in the coming days. Shido-Finance is literally talking about a takeover of FTX. You look right here, there's a lot to cover and we will take some time. This is a highly dynamic situation and we are assessing the situation in real time. Binance has the discretion to pull out from the deal at any time. We expect FTT to be highly volatile in the coming days as things develop. FTT being the native token of FTX. And that token itself took a dramatic hit. So you got FTX. You have FTX, a major exchange. We're gonna pull up and take a look here because I want everyone to understand just how huge this exchange is, right? You know, when we talk, everyone preaches in crypto that it's exchange after exchange after exchange. You got to go after 100,000 exchanges. You got to be on 100 exchanges to be a profitable, good project. I think that's bullshit because this shows right here that even the strongest exchanges can crash in a matter of seconds. Okay, FTX. FTX is your number 3. It's your top third exchange. Look at that trading volume. Let me make that big for everybody. Okay, you're talking $4,959,850,314 in 24-hour trading volume. It's up 178.26% on the day, but that didn't help the Titan from falling, and it's only back at this point because of what's happening with Binance. Now, FTX earlier, we go back to Twitter here, and we're going to pull up the tweet because that FTX literally froze all trading. They froze all asset trading on their end. Now, that in itself should concern every single one of you watching the stream because everybody tells you, oh, exchange, 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 right? Yeah, and number 3, liquidity issues. That's I'm going to share that. I like that. That's good shit right there. The point, right? Everyone's talking about how these exchanges are so important to crypto. Well, what happened today? Well, what happened today is we found out this right here. Flash crash. FTX token FTT drops to low of $3.15. 85% correction in 24 hours. Its global crypto market cap tumbles to 9.01.97 billion. It's a 13.23% retracement on a 24-hour window. You go further down into this, and you are literally finding tweets talking about where FTX halted all trading. All trading. You could not withdraw a single penny of crypto out of FTX. Now tell me, is that safe to have all your assets if you had them on FTX? And let's say you couldn't rush home in the time allotted to get them off the exchange, and they are frozen on the exchange, and you can't touch your assets. You cannot touch the money you have earned in DeFi. Tell me how that's fair. Tell me how that makes any goddamn sense in the realm of crypto, because it doesn't. And we get further than that. There's rumblings right now that Coinbase could be next on the chopping block. I'm not saying that Coinbase is going down, but I'm going to share another tweet. It comes from a questionable source, but he's been in crypto for like, I think 10 something years. So I'm more prone to believe that he wouldn't tweet out bullshit, but I'll share it. For those who do or don't know who Del Crypto is, this tweet came out today. It says rumors throughout the crypto sphere that at Coinbase is facing major liquidity issues and insolvency may be imminent. We're talking about Coinbase. Coinbase, let's go back and look at the trading volume. All right, how the Titans may fall, right? That's your number 2 exchange by 24-hour trading volume. $5,452,101,136 in 24-hour trading volume, and they're facing insolvency. Explain to me how a crypto exchange, a CEX, one of the biggest CEXs out there in the top 10, is facing insolvency. Guys, get your shit off of exchanges. Exchanges are not the bread and butter of a crypto project. If you are basing your sole existence on how many exchanges you can list on, or you are telling your community that I've got you on 4, let's use Shiba, okay? Shiba in 2021 was an anomaly. You had COVID, you had government lockdowns, you had free money flying all over the place. Having that many exchanges with those parameters all falling into place made for a run that we'll probably never see in crypto again, and it minted millionaires. I will give props to Shiba all day, every day, but that is not the existence of crypto today. We don't have government lockdowns around the world. You don't have a massive pandemic that is worse than the Spanish flu. We don't have governments throwing billions of dollars at their citizens telling you to stay home and everyone throwing money into risky assets. No, we have a bear market that's very reminiscent to the 2015 bear market. We have a potential global conflict between Russia and Ukraine that could pull the entire world into it. We have China and Taiwan and rumors of war. We have inflation at the all-time high that has been the highest it's been since the late 1970s, early 80s, the Volcker era. If anyone remembers the term "you've been Volckered," it's when interest rates went up to I think 19-something%. It was absolutely insane. And he killed inflation, but he destroyed the economy. You have all of these parallels coming into play. You're not going to see another Shiba. It's just not going to happen in this cycle, and probably not in any cycle, in my opinion. People investing in crypto want substance. They want safe assets, safe investments, and they actually want their investments to be doing something. That is Shido-Finance. That's why I'm here. That's why all of you are here, right? Because we understand what Shido's creating. So to go back to my example here, when any crypto is telling you that, oh, well, I'm going to take you to the moon and make you a millionaire because I have you listed on hundreds of exchanges. Listings do not guarantee volume. Listings do not mean your project is going to go to the moon. There has to be a purpose and a reason behind it. Yeah, massive marketing helps. A strong army helps. All those things, they help take you to the moon, right? Sure. To a massive all-time high and then a dump and you never sustained it. That's not what I'm encrypted for, and that's not what the people in Shido-Finance are encrypted for, right? We are here for long-term generational wealth, and we're in a project in a community that is literally creating something the DeFi space has never seen before. A DeFi bank completely and solely ran by you, the investor. Fiat on and off ramps. A Visa MasterCard with 156 countries at launch, ready to go. And a bullish Visa MasterCard, man. You can get it in normal plastic if you just want the card. You can get it in aluminum. You can get it in titanium. You can get it gold plated, or you can legit get a full 24 karat Visa and or MasterCard. That's a $20,000 debit card you're carrying around in your wallet, just if you want to flex. Tell me another project that's doing something like that. And it's not a preload card. It's not something where you just preload crypto and then you get taxed on the back end because you went from fiat to crypto. It's not that circumstance. It is literally through a third-party transaction. It's KYC'd, but you're not going into fiat. You're going from crypto to the third party who's then exchanging it and taking your crypto and then giving you the tangible good. You're never touching the fiat. It's a non-taxable event. It is absolutely amazing. All of this is being done in the sphere of working around the legal system that we have today in both the European unions, here in the United States, and every other country that's listed. So let's take a look at that, right? Let's look at those countries that are listed. Get it pulled up right here. And I just want to show it to you guys because it's super bullish. All right. So this tweet came out from Bjorn today, right? And it says, you're probably not going to be able to see this too well, but I'll try. Let's see if I can zoom in for you guys a little bit. Nope. I've lost the tweet. Dang it. All right, hold on. Here we go. All right. It says all of these 156 countries will 100% be available for both Shido Card and various banking services we will offer. There are some countries that are not on our prohibited list, but not in this list. I've made requests upon those because they shall most likely be added at some point in time. So basically, he has more countries being added. They're just not added currently. When you break this list down, let's just name a few, okay? Africa. Going through here, we got China, you got Africa, you got the United States, you got the Dominican Republic, Dominica, Dubai, Egypt, Ecuador, El Salvador, Estonia, Ethiopia, Finland, Greece, France, Germany, Greenland, Guadeloupe, Canada, Hong Kong SAR, Hungary, Iceland, Indonesia, India, Ireland. India is a huge one. You know how many people are asking for something like this in some of these countries, and there's no project that offers it? What we do now. Shido-Finance is your solution. India, Indonesia, Ireland, Republic of the Isle of Man, Israel, Italy, Jamaica, Japan, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kenya, Korea, Kuwait, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Macedonia, Madagascar, Malaysia, Malta, Marshall Islands, Mozambique, Mexico, Monaco. Mexico, so many people were asking for Mexico to be added, and Bjorn literally said, hey, let me see what I can do. Here it is. You asked the dev, can you make something happen? And the dev made it happen, guys. Monaco, Mongolia, Morocco, Mozambique, Namibia, Netherlands, Niger, Nigeria, Norway, Papua New Guinea, Philippines, Portugal, Poland, Qatar, Romania, Saudi Arabia, Spain, Sri Lanka, Switzerland, Sweden, Taiwan, Kazakhstan, Tanzania, Thailand. You've got Turkey, United Kingdom, United Arab Emirates, United States of America, Uruguay, U.S. Virgin Islands, Vietnam. I mean, just to name some of these guys, that's freaking huge. Freaking huge. And there's 156 on the list right now. And there's more coming. That is so bullish. And that is just the Visa MasterCard. We still got the Apple Wallet that's pending final reviews. That's going to be dropping here soon. You've got the 1.1 update that's bridging PancakeSwap and Uniswap directly into integration. No more having to connect to a DApp to utilize those. You've also got the ability to buy straight Shido right there, right when you open the wallet. Next up, we've got the integration of, I believe it's Solana, which is our first chain being integrated into the wallet. I mean, guys, so bullish of what is happening right now with Shido-Finance. This is just starting November. Starting. And then the DEX is coming. The DAO, the perpetual lending platform, the play-to-earn gaming platform, and the freaking blockchain. My God, the blockchain. I mean, there's just bullishness after bullishness after bullishness that is coming for this project. There is nothing that's going to stop Shido. Shido is and will be the gem of 2023. You know, like this graphic breaks it down perfectly, right? It says right here, Shido Visa card available at 150 plus, is now 165 plus. Access over 42 million merchants worldwide, physical and virtual card. Spend your crypto in real life. That's the whole goal, right? That's what we're trying to accomplish, is bringing ease of access to the crypto space. And here we are. Absolute low fees, no TX fees at all, which is huge. That was mentioned by Bjorn. Full integration into the Shido wallet. Literally, you're going to be able to take your phone, your mobile device, and access everything in one place, one click. You are never going to have to go through multiple DApps. You're never going to have to connect to multiple applications. It's all in one device, all integrated. The perpetual platform, the play-to-earn gaming, everything is integrated. That is the beauty of this ecosystem. There's no outside sources. It's all in one trusted, secured platform. What more could you ask for in a crypto project? Seriously. You know, man. And then I really love this breakdown here. This was on Shido Chain. Whoever made this, absolutely genius. Yes, make sure you shill this out there on Twitter. Please get it out in all social media aspects. We'll read through it here together. Shido Chain. Shido Chain is a layer 1 EVM blockchain that has special attributes designed for high transaction speed, security, and reliability. Shido is a native currency, so it is the governance token on Shido Chain and the governance token in all of our existing utilities, meaning Shido governs everything, which again causes a massive supply squeeze, it causes a price squeeze, and it benefits all the holders who hold Shido. The EMV grants developers the ability to easily create smart contracts and DApps on Shido Chain. That's going to be huge. Being able to migrate existing DApps from the Ethereum blockchain to the Shido Chain for people who want to move over because of the lower fees and the speeds on our chain, they can do so. Proof of stake as consensus mechanism to confirm transactions and generate new blocks through validators. Shadow Bridge that works with Shadow Chain. Using Shadow Bridge, you are able to create and mint new tokens on the Shadow Chain, so developers can create their own projects on Shadow Chain. Shadow Chain will have high transaction speeds and low gas fees by design. Again, if the Ethereum fees skyrocket, well, the Shadow fees are going to be far less and allows you to do the same thing that you could do on ERC20. So why would you not try out Shadow Chain? Set to launch during the first half of 2023. Bjorn is constantly delivering. The man is constantly taking this community to new heights, right? You look at our baseline utility right here. I couldn't say it any better. 6% buy and sell tax. We're on our way down to 0. Why? Because all of our utilities will fully fund the project. And I want to touch on that momentarily. I keep hearing people out there that will say, like, well, why would you go 0 tax? Because then you have nothing for marketing. You're not understanding the concept here. Through the transaction fees, through all of the fees of our utility base, Shadow will make more money than it does currently on this tax percentage. So why not lower the tax percentage down to 0, benefit our holders by not taking away from them when they do buy or sell? And in case you haven't realized, Binance really likes tokens that are a 0% tax. I'm going to let you fill in the blank on that one. But I smell Binance. I don't know when, and I don't know how quickly, but I smell Binance in Shadow's future. You can hold me to that because I'm pretty sure it's coming. Looking at our supplies here, 48.5 on the BSC chain, 47.5 on the Ethereum chain. Absolutely fantastic. So the 100 billion split, 52% has been burned. We got a built-in burn mechanism on the DEX. So every buy and sell is going to continue to burn Shido. I will get to questions here momentarily, guys. If you have them, please leave them in the box down there. Teach will coordinate you, and I will definitely answer them as we progress through tonight's show. Again, split on both chains, right? Bridged from BSC to Ethereum. At some point, all of that will balance, and the price floor will reflect evenly on both chains as it continues to balance down. You've got Shido Wallet already launched on Android. You've got it coming here very soon on iOS as soon as Apple pushes it through on the final approval. It is in test flight mode. You can use it. Just go into the beta test and download it. The link is pinned in our Telegram chat. You got the Shido Hybrid Exchange. And we got Arno joining us here. So let's go ahead and get him in the stream. Arno, how you doing? Welcome, sir.
Hey, how you doing, man? Sorry for my late arrival here.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good. We're just we're walking through some of the graphics and some of the utility out there with Shido. I'm gonna finish this up here and then I'll open the mic up to you. But you got the Shido Hybrid Exchange. Again, we've talked a lot about that coming in November. You got the Perpetual platform in December. Shadow Games, which looks super bullish. I don't know if anyone has seen some of the footage that Bjorn put in chat, but it literally is kind of like a Mortal Kombat type game, and I'm digging it. It looks awesome. I'm gonna play it. Especially if I could earn Shido, why the hell not? You got the NFT marketplace coming. A lot of people are seeing their Shido passes coming in their wallets. I'm glad to see that. I'm glad we got that handled. But you're going to be able to stake those here soon, just like you can stake your Shido tokens and earn Shido for doing so. And then we've been talking a lot about the Visa and MasterCard that are coming this month. All of this is absolutely bullish. Absolutely bullish. So, Marta, how you feeling tonight, man?
Oh, I'm digging at the most, man. Chilling, as always.
Well, people are biting at the bits to hear you talk about the charts. So I'm going to flip them over to the charts here, and I'm going to let you do what you do best. Let's talk some price action and some analysis. I got B&B pulled up for you.
Give it to me on the weekly. I want to talk weekly. The short term is going to be completely 100% biased.
All right, there you are on the weekly.
Could you go ahead and zoom in?
Yep, just give it a second on your end. It's probably a little lag delay.
Oh, you already started our reversal. There you go. You got the reversal right there. On the,
well, tell me what you see. Tell the community, because they're wanting to hear from the chart master himself.
I looked at the chart about maybe 6 hours ago, and we were in the red on the weekly. So we've already reversed that trend.
Well, there you go.
And but if you look here, you got your chart's a little bit disjointed than the ones I have set up. But if you could zoom in on the on the recent period, I really want to focus in on those last. I want to focus in on those last 4 to 5 minutes. Basically, the last 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, you're pretty well zoomed in now. You should see it on the screen.
But basically, as you guys can see, I mean, we keep getting highs, and then we match them, and then we trend out, and then we match those highs, and then we exceed them in the following week. There's a little bit of rotation there, but generally speaking, we always continuously can push the highs higher, and the lows go higher as well. So, like I said, as I've been saying to anybody that's in the Shido chat that may hear any of my chart analysis there, long term, this thing is just bullish. It's bullish on its own, simply on buying sentiment. Now, once we get utility started, that's going to bring in a new aspect that can't really be gauged, because at that point, it's not going to necessarily be about people buying the token. The utility of the token is going to drive the price, and that's what you want as an investor. That's why I'm here. I'm here as a speculative investor. I'm not here to be looking for a pump and dump. I'm here looking for the expectation of utility being rendered. And once that goes down, you guys just saw that whole entire slew of utilities coming out with the DEX and the Visa card, and the play to earn games and all this. It's just so much. I really do need to start writing this stuff down. It's hard to list it, but it's hard to list all this stuff by word of mouth because there's so much to talk about. But the token governing all these transactions is going to be insane within the wallet. That doesn't even go into addition covering Shido chain and what that's going to do. And we don't even know what the transactions per second and the burn rate's going to be there, because if they get any kind of throughput that's comparable to what Solana has already shown, Solana has gone up to, I believe, 50,000 transactions per second with their scalability. And if we get anywhere near that with our token, all that and governing a decentralized wallet.
Oh, I agree, man. I agree. Sorry, I was letting you go on there. I didn't want to walk over you on the mic.
Yeah, it's just you get just 100 projects on there. It's gonna be. Like, I don't like to publicly give them because I don't want to give an improper representation of what we can expect. But I've always compared, like, just go look at the price of Solana, go look at the price of Avalanche, and they've done similar. We're doing the same type of.
Let's pull up.
Keep in mind their token supply is a lot smaller than ours. But if you were just to go ahead and ramp up the supply and ramp it up against that market cap, you can pretty much extrapolate what you would expect to see.
So they're at what here? 361 million in circulating supply, it looks like.
Yeah. So just imagine us at 48 billion against their market cap right now. That would give us a price of
about what? Like $8, somewhere around there.
And Valhalla, isn't that about what I've discussed with you behind the scenes?
Yeah, absolutely. We talk anywhere from we've talked anywhere from 8 potentially upwards of 50, just depending on how the blockchain kicks off. But let's not kid ourselves here.
Right.
If I can just take a moment, I want to highlight a point real quick, Arno. So on 11/6/2021, Solana's all-time high was $258.78. So I mean, I just want to highlight that point. And everything they're going through right now, I mean, they're getting their ass kicked on the charts, and they're still holding a $23 price tag. You got into this thing super early. I mean, they're down 21.22%, but they're holding a price floor because they have an amazing blockchain. I mean, that is the holy grail. I mean, speak on that, Arno. Where would you think Solana would be if they didn't have a blockchain?
Well, they wouldn't be. Their whole entire project is based on that. They wouldn't exist. So I don't know.
Well, I'm saying hypothetically, if they had more and didn't have the blockchain, they'd probably be at what? Not even pennies, maybe a penny.
If it was just a token, then probably a couple of cents.
Hey, so I appreciate. Hold on a second. I
Buying
appreciate
it just
questions on my stream, but please do not spam questions or you will get muted. I'm going to address this real quick. We're going to address this. Why is this project getting delisted? Okay, so first of all, the project's not getting delisted. What occurred was a delisting off of an exchange that we chose to get delisted on. So with that particular exchange had very, very low volume, and it was not benefiting Shido. So instead of keeping liquidity on that exchange for relatively no reason, we moved it off of that exchange, asked to be delisted, and added that to the LP pools, which benefits our holders and the project. Why remain on an exchange that has terrible trading volume? It does not make sense for the project. So that's the bottom line. Lump sum is there was no delisting on the aspect of the exchange choosing to remove Shido. It was Shido choosing to remove itself off the exchange. Anyways, Arno, continue on.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw that announcement, that was my first thought, because I remember the week prior we had the announcement of the liquidity infusion initiative that will basically be a weekly infusion to Shido token liquidity. So when I saw the announcement about them delisting personally off the exchange, my first thought was, well, it's got to be for liquidity. It's got to be, because it makes all the sense in the world. And then they came out and they announced it officially. I saw some people in the community losing, going a little crazy because they didn't kind of understand that does make sense. Usually delistings usually always shake people up, but that's the beauty of this project. This project has what you like to see, what you want to see in any type of project, and that's foresight. They take the initiative to have foresight and cut all the fat off. They're reducing any kind of friction for us as investors. Think about it. They're going to be infusing the liquidity every single week. That, in a sense, is investor confidence. You know that every single week there's an initiative out there to push the price floor to at least go out of the token up higher and higher and higher. And this will be done from transaction fees that come in. The devs, they're using all of their resources in the right capacity. At no point in time since I've been in this project have I seen any type of malpractice of any sort. There's been no wasting of time, no wasting of funds. So yeah, it looks like long story short, the self-initiated, and that's key. The self-initiated delisting was for liquidity. We chose to do it.
Correct.
Nobody kicked out of anywhere. We chose to do it.
No. See, and here's the beautiful part. So I'm going to use this to segue into this conversation a little bit, because so many investors have this. I don't know what how would I put this? This love affair with exchanges is, where so many projects think, oh my God, if we don't get listed on 100 exchanges, we're a failure. Well, if you're a meme coin and that's your only goal is to get listed on exchanges to pump your volume for a one-time pump and dump, then yeah, maybe that's your lifeblood. Shido is not a meme token. We are not even in that ballpark or category. We are a decentralized bank in finance. That is it. Our entire ecosystem is designed about protecting your virtual assets and giving you multiple fiat on and off ramps to move your crypto safely and securely at your leisure, while giving you perpetual lending options, a hyper-deflationary DEX with 7 chains you can trade on. I mean, show me a project that has any of that. There is not one in the DeFi space. There's nothing out there that does what Shido does. Shido is the king of utility when it comes to finance, period. There is no competition with this project. So yes, in the retrospect of Shido, we are not dependent on 100 exchanges to carry us to a multi-billion-dollar market cap. We are not. There's a reason why we're not focusing on getting listed on 100 exchanges and throwing money at the wall for marketing to try to rally people around these exchanges. There's no purpose to that. I would rather, and I pray and I preach this, see Bjorn take that money and develop working utility that betters the DeFi space. I don't care that we're not listed on Coinbase and Crypto.com and Binance today. I care about a functional working wallet that is better than the competition. I care about a multi-atomic swap DEX that allows cross-trading in one secured platform with a built-in hyperdeflationary burn mechanism. I care about a perpetual lending platform that allows me to short the bears and the bulls on 100x lending positions. Those are the things that change in irreparably altered DeFi, not a cute little graphic into the moon. Right? I mean, what do you think about that, Arna?
Right. I totally agree. I think the hinge point for this token will be really for decentralized application developers. This is going to, just in order to effectively have sway on Shido chain, you're going to have proof of stake. So you're going to have to garner up a lot of tokens to get your transactions out for your debt. I think that's going to be the real major play, and they're going to be buying these up at the throat when Shido chains come out with it. It makes all the sense in the world. If you're there early, you might as well get it for the lowest price you possibly can, because you're going to need them later to be able to get your transactions through, to get your commands through. That's the problem that Ethereum is facing right now on the ERC20 contract. The throughput there is through the roof. I mean, the competition there is ridiculous. I mean, it's like bringing a dApp onto the Ethereum blockchain right now is the equivalent of trying to start a business on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. Good luck fighting for space on that piece of real estate to do business. Good luck.
Hey, I want to point this out real quick.
Thin.
This just goes to, again, the point I make of putting money in the right place. And I get it, man. Investors are anxious. They win Lambo, win Moon. I want it right now. You're not going to get it right now with Shido. What you're going to get is a dev that's going to deliver and execute on the timeline that's been established, if not earlier, and you will make millions if you hold your back. But if you run off, you sell because you're not happy with the pace of the dev, that's on you. The people that understand the project, we ain't going nowhere because we understand what's being built here. And this is an example right here. So somebody in our Telegram asked, if I am withdrawing cash from an ATM or spend at a merchant, is it going to be available in local currencies of all countries? Bjorn's response within seconds. For ATMs, you have a $2,500 USD a day limit, almost a $3,000 withdrawal per day limit. That's massive. That is more than Coinbase. That is more than most CEXs allow you on a daily limit to your checking. Now, you have a max of $500 USD at that time. At launch, your account, so that you can withdraw at the ATM. So you can withdraw a max of $2,500, but at $500 increments is what he's saying. At launch, your account currencies are USD, EUR, GBP, CNY, and JPY. European and USD currencies completely covered. And I believe those fall in both the Mexico and African nation as well. I believe it covers all aspects of the globe in those 5 currency rates. Card currencies are USD, EUR, and GBP. He says, if there is a currency that we see has a huge demand, we will add that. It will be at a cost, and we have to accommodate a bank, so we have to see the demand. So if there's a currency out there that there's a high demand for, Bjorn will 100% add it to the Visa MasterCard, allowing you to utilize it and trade for it. But there has to be a high enough demand because we have another bank that would have to get set up for that. But again, this is execution of a dev, right? This dev, we just talked about it earlier on the stream, 156 countries at the launch of these cards. And here's your native currencies. You can go anywhere around the globe and trade with this card and utilize your crypto and execute it off this off-ramp with 0 issues, a max of $2,500 a day, and at $500 increments. That's more than my checking account lets me pull out, period.
This is going to open up. This is the byproduct of what Bjorn's doing. It's going to open up. It's going to open up a lot of clients. It's going to open up a lot of economic opportunities for countries that don't particularly have that freedom because of regulations, as it would be, whatever they may have. You already know about India. You know about China. You know about those countries. There are countries in Africa. There are countries out there that have no banking.
Here's the list, Arno.
There are countries that have no banking system. but they do have cell phones.
Right.
You see, and they'll be able to get into crypto for the very first time. They'll be
You see
able
the
to
big
get
one?
that money on there.
Just
I
real
can't
quick,
really
you
see
see
the
the
screen
one
so many.
India, the one you were asking
I
for,
check.
right there.
I can't see it's too minimized on my screen.
I'll send it to your phone. But India is on the list. We had a lot of people asking for India. Boom.
Right.
Done.
Oh well, I had a colleague of mine tell me about that one today. He made me aware of that one. That's on my radar. They're already ready to. I'm pretty sure they'll be one of the first real big adopters of this once we get up to speed. But my point is that all this money is going to be flowing into the crypto space through our ecosystem, through our token. Governing all of these transactions on the back end, once the banks and everything, the third party settles it, that influx will come into what we will assume will be swaps. There'll be purchases on NFTs. There will even be situations where people will just go ahead and just put it into USDT and just let it sit there. And if they're doing that, guess who's governing that? Shido-Token. It all goes through at the back end. All the transactions will be governed on the back end by Shido-Token. This is the perfect storm. This, like I said, this is what you call, in my opinion, it's a cornerstone crypto. It's not a blue. This is a cryptocurrency, a project that is going to be one of the projects that you do business with going forward.
Absolutely.
Not
No,
just gonna
I agree 100%.
be a crypto that's like, a Doge or a Shiba Inu that had a good. You think about the cornerstone cryptos. You think about BTC. You think about Ethereum. You think about Litecoin. I know Litecoin doesn't get a lot of love, but Litecoin has a lot of pairings out there, and it's done a lot of great things. You think about XRP and what they're doing. Even though they've been in the courtroom, their distributive ledger, once it's fully realized and able to launch, they're going to do very, very well wise, in my opinion. If you got in early, if you got in early on XRP, good gracious, you've already, Bahala, I've talked to you at nauseum about the XRP experience I had and how the token supply is similar to ours here in Shido and how it performed and how what you can expect in the early going and how that's going to be divvied up as the months come. We're going to join that list because of the utility. It has nothing to do with public. It's not going to be about people buying it. It's going to be about it being used, doing it now, friction. That's going to be the real genius in all of this.
Right. No, you're not wrong at all, man. It's one of those things where I wish people took time in DeFi to actually really just look at what the hell they're buying. This space boggles my mind sometimes. It boggles my mind.
I think the way things are playing out, I've been in the space for 6 years, and I'm pretty big. I'm really big on the history of the space. And I was telling you about the comparison I was making with, and for people that are about to hear what I'm about to say, I'm in no way, shape, or form comparing what the project's going to do to this other project. I'm talking about it purely from an energy standpoint and how these projects that go on to be groundbreaking begin. If you were to take a look at the beginnings of Ethereum, go back. If you're interested, go on YouTube, search out 2014, 2013 Vitalik Buterin interview video. I want you to take a look at the state of it. And I want you to go look at the early videos of Solana. Go look at the early videos of Litecoin. Go look at the early videos of XRP. And then go look at the videos of Shido right now. What you'll find is the comparison is you'll have extraordinarily intelligent individuals speaking nothing but facts in the middle of nowhere with no one paying attention to them with grainy footage. with a groundbreaking idea that has yet to take off, that nobody respects yet because the price hasn't ran yet.
I want you to touch on that because we're gonna watch that video here live in just a few moments. So I want you to touch on where you're going with that.
Yeah, my point is projects that bring utility to the DeFi space are always going to be esoteric. They're always going to be misunderstood because they're not flashy. They're not exciting in the beginning. These are the projects that go on to do groundbreaking things. When Vitalik Buterin began, he was doing interviews in places that you and I would consider to be like bingo or at the Holiday Inn or something like that, or the Motel 6. Bjorn's doing that right now. The same type of energy that you see in those other videos, you see that with Bjorn right now. Just a mild-mannered individual speaking facts verbatim about the project over and over and over again in a very small space of individuals paying attention to it. And over time, these individuals who come in like this, their projects take off. Vitalik Buterin started off just the same way. And based on the videos that he had in the beginning, this man was responsible for creating what I consider to be the second greatest crypto of all time by market cap. Now, if you can make the case that it's the greatest based on utility, because what it did for that. But based on market cap, it's the second greatest crypto of all time. But if you go back and look from its beginning, go back and look at its beginning, and compare to where we're at right now with.
Sorry, Arno, I didn't mean to interject. No, you're okay. I'm sorry. We were walking each other. Just real quick, I wanted to hit this for Subsailor, and then just to knock it out of the way real quick, because he's been waiting for a response. He says, will holders have to hold a certain amount above 100 million tokens to qualify for the cards? I don't know exactly. I don't believe so. I think the card is kind of your preference choice of what you want, but I don't believe you have to hold a certain amount to qualify. We're not doing what Crypto.com does, where you have to have, $1 million to get this card. If you want the 24 karat freaking Visa card and you want to pay 20 grand to get it, then you can get it, from my understanding. But tag Bjorn and ask him specifically in the Telegram chat, and he will get you those details. With that, Arno, continue, sir. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, like that was actually a good question because I'm interested in the 24 karat card myself.
Hell yeah! Well, I'm getting one, bro. Dude, 20 grand is gonna be pocket change. Valhalla is getting that shit.
Well, I don't want to go on record and say what pocket change would be, but let's just say I'll be able to speculate on it.
All I'm saying is I'm getting my ass one.
Yeah, I know you are. But just back to what you were saying, you don't understand why people don't understand these projects. Well, there's a reason for that. Utility projects always are misunderstood in the beginning because these people that come together with these unique ideas are people who are 100% laser focused on doing what brings the groundwork together in the beginning. They don't focus on the flashiness or what they, or dressing the part or looking a certain way or having the best presentation at the beginning. Look at all the interview footages of all these people. They're all grainy. They're all in motels or places that in the middle of the nowhere talking about these high-minded ideas.
Well, let's watch one. Let's watch that exact thing you just mentioned.
Video in the Shido chat for anyone that wants to go there and check it out. If you look at Vitalik Buterin, you compare it to Bjorn, the comparisons just jump out at you. Not just in the individual, but also the setting, the composure, and how they're talking about it, and what they're talking about, and how they relate it. And then you compare that to other projects that come in your face with all this other stuff, that try to use all this the moon boy speak, and you start to see the difference between what makes a project go the distance and what makes a project just come.
So let's show that video because what you're saying is absolutely spot on, right? Like when I watch this video, and we're gonna watch the full thing because I want people to understand where Vitalik's coming from, and what he's talking about here is basically what he's trying to build with Ethereum before Ethereum launched. And this is something that when you watch this video, you're going to see the parallels to Bjorn, and we'll talk about it after the video. We're going to spend a quick 14 minutes to watch this because I feel it's important to see the parallels of exactly what Arno's talking about. Let's
Plus, it's
play
just
this.
funny. It's just,
It is.
just jumps out at.
It's worth it. It's worth it because we know this is coming. For the people that are watching and waiting, we know this is where we're going. So let's play this real quick.
Ethereum is basically a platform that provides a sort of completely generalized architecture for decentralized consensus. Because I wanted Ethereum to make things very trivial. I wanted to make it, I want people to do Namecoin in 2 lines of code, create your own currency in 10 lines.
I'm here with Vitalik Buterin. Could you tell me a little bit about sidechains?
Sure. So the idea behind sidechains is something that's really been around for almost half a year now. So about really even before that, people came up with this concept called a one-way peg, where the idea is that you can come up with a new currency, and the way that you would be able to get new units of that new currency is that you would destroy bitcoins on the Bitcoin blockchain. So you would send them to some address that's provably unspendable, like that one Bitcoin Ether address, don't send or whatever, and then you would create a proof that you made that transaction, and you would submit that proof into the second blockchain, and that proof would entitle you to get 1 unit of Bitcoin in the other blockchain. So what that basically gives you is it gives you a distribution model that sort of allows you to convert your old Bitcoins in one system into new Bitcoins in another system. But the problem is that there's no two-way convertibility. So although it does put a price ceiling on the value of the new currency, at least for as long as the peg remains, it doesn't put a price floor. So the idea of a two-way peg is interesting. So the way a two-way peg works is in order to get a coin in chain B, what you do is you take a coin in chain A and you send it into a script. We'll call that script X for now. And then you take a proof of that you made that transaction, submit it into chain B, and that entitles you to just magically get a coin out of nowhere in chain B. So then what is script X? So script X is a script that says the following: if you can submit into the script a proof that you destroyed a coin in chain B, then you're allowed to unlock the coin behind the script. So the idea is it's this sort of mechanism that where basically the way that you get a coin in chain B is by taking a coin in chain A and sort of putting it into this kind of bank that then unlocks the coin to some other person who comes along with some other coin in chain B. So it allows for two-way convertibility. You can convert from chain A to chain B by putting a coin into the script, and then you convert from chain B to chain A by destroying a coin in chain B, and then finding one of these scripts and submitting your transaction in chain B into the script, and you get a coin in chain A back. So the general point of this is that it allows you to create currencies or cryptographic systems that exist outside of Bitcoin from a protocol standpoint, but are at the same time tied to Bitcoin, the currency unit. So in general, if you look at cryptocurrency systems as a whole, you can fit them into basically 4 quadrants. So one quadrant is it's built on top of Bitcoin, the blockchain, but not and Bitcoin, the currency. That's just by definition Bitcoin itself. The second quadrant is it's built on top of Bitcoin, the blockchain, but not Bitcoin, the currency. So that's where meta protocols like Mastercoin, Colored Coins, and Counterparty come in. Then another quadrant is not built on top of the blockchain, not built on top of the currency. So that's where the Ethereum has been so far. Mm-hmm. And now we have this fourth quadrant, which is built on top of Bitcoin, the currency, without being built on top of Bitcoin, the blockchain.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think this means for the future of altcoins? Is it going to render them obsolete?
It really depends on what kind of altcoins. Like I think if you're going to create some kind of sort of trivial single feature innovation on top of Bitcoin, I think those kinds of altcoins have really been pretty much obsolete already. Like if you look at all these sort of tiny alts to make one tiny feature improvement, really the only one that's stuck around is Litecoin. All the others are like $5 million, $3 million market cap. Then if you look at altcoins that have where it's really all about specifically the currency being different. So if you look at something like Prime Coin, where the point is to pay people in currency for finding these chains of prime numbers, or Dogecoin, where the point is that you're not supposed to focus on the monetary value. Yeah, so in those cases, it actually does make sense to have a different monetary unit. So then if you look at things that aren't really coins so much as abstract crypto systems, something like Ethereum. So the nice thing about Ethereum is that, as I was mentioning in my presentation yesterday, Ethereum is not a coin. We're a generalized platform for building anything. And the point is that you're supposed to do whatever experimentation you want inside of this mechanism that's called contracts. And so, Ether is the main mechanism for paying transaction fees on top of Ethereum. But also the nice thing about Ethereum is that you can also use other currencies. Like you can use that currency that uses financial derivatives to perfectly track the price of a US dollar. You can use backed currencies, and you can use all sorts of commodity basket currencies, indices, or now you can also have a contract which acts as a Bitcoin sidechain. Yeah,
that's really exciting. And do you see any potential security risks with sidechains in that they're sort of unbearable until they go back onto the blockchain?
Yeah, so there are a few issues that people have pointed out. So one of the issues is that because this is a sidechain, is not going to be able to come up with its own currency units, because all of the currency units inside the system have to be backed by Bitcoins, unless you want to create a sidechain which is a fractional reserve, but that's obviously going to be really unstable. So the problem is that there's no way to reward miners for mining it. So there's really two big solutions for that. So one solution is proof of stake. So that's actually a solution I haven't seen anyone else talking about in the recent discussion, but it's there. And then the other solution is this concept of merge mining with Bitcoin. So the way that merge mining works is basically you have Bitcoin miners simultaneously in their blocks include hashes of the Bitcoin block and also hashes of the sidechain block. So for basically very little extra cost, the miners are also supporting the sidechain. So yeah, the security issue is that because these side chains are trivial to mine for Bitcoin miners, they're also trivial to attack for Bitcoin miners. So if you have a side chain, then unless you can get more than 50% of Bitcoin's network hash power backing you, say if you got only 5% of the network hash power backing you, then some other pool with 15% hash power can literally just flip on and switch and 51% attack your chain at no cost to themselves. No cost. Like not even the cost of mining a few invalid blocks. So so that's basically one of the issues that I think people are concerned about. And also just from a philosophical standpoint, I think the reason why people like cryptocurrencies is because they allow innovation without permission. You don't have to ask like Apple or some existing financial system or anyone else. If you want to set up a cryptocurrency, you just do it, and it's pretty much the people that are the ones that are going to either accept it or not. So here, if you do a sidechain, the problem is that you're going back to the old paradigm on some extent. You're basically saying you have to convince a small set of Bitcoin mining pools to agree to mine on your chain, and if you don't get over 50%, then you're insecure.
Right.
Yeah.
So are you overall positive about this development?
I think it's a very interesting idea. Like as I was saying, it fills in a quadrant that hasn't existed before, and generally, the reason why business people love talking about quadrants is, and all sorts of other diagrams of that sort, is that when you see some new technology that fills in a new quadrant, chances are there's some kind of unused niche that would really benefit from it. So yeah, I'm sure they'll find some uses.
So what exactly is Ethereum?
Okay, so Ethereum is basically a platform that provides a sort of completely generalized architecture for decentralized consensus that allows you to create basically any kind of decentralized application. So we're talking about things like making your own currencies, putting on other currencies, decentralized organizations, voting protocols, also things like name registration, name coin, any kind of financial contract, financial marketplaces. So just about anything that's based on this paradigm of some kind of internal state and
I'm going to pause it there at 9:15. But a point I wanted to make, Arno, real quick, is what he said about quadrants. And I know you've watched this whole video, so you're going to know where I'm going to go with this. is when he's talking about the quadrants, and he said that many businessmen love quadrants for the reason that they open up the potential to solve problems that nobody else is solving. Who does that sound like to you?
Yeah.
That sounds like Bjorn, right?
I would make the distinction. Yes, I would concur.
And the reason why I bring that to the forefront, right, is Bjorn, he has opened a new quadrant, right? That quadrant is a DeFi bank within the sphere of crypto, bringing accessibility to something that's not easily accessible by the masses at this point. That's going to open the ability to solve many problems that have existed in the DeFi and the main crypto sphere for a very long time, i.e. having to rely on major exchanges without other alternatives. Now we have that alternative, and we're building a blockchain to back it behind that. What are your thoughts, man?
What Bjorn is effectively doing is that he's removing friction from the DeFi space. That's what it comes down to. Like every great entrepreneur has always done, no matter whether you're talking about going old school with railroads or the invention of the combustible engine and cars or the implementation of computers, it always comes down to one simple thing that creates value and drives value: removing friction to get involved. Because if you get the average person involved, guess what? You get the average dollar involved. That's more money. You don't want to just target the elite. You want to target the average everyday man. And that's what this wallet's definitely going to be targeting.
Absolutely. So again, guys, like when you see stuff like this interview with Vitalik Buterin in 2014, when we're telling you, I'm never going to give you financial advice. I'm just never going to do that. I will tell you what I'm doing, and I'll share the wisdom, just like Arno will, that we believe where this is going. This is its own quadrants. Okay, it has its own specific set of things it needs to solve, and we're solving them with our revolutionary wallet, capability of the atomic swap that we have, the DEX, the 7-chain DEX. We have the integrated Visa and MasterCard, the fiat on and off ramps, all the ways to utilize your crypto and never have to take them to a centralized exchange. In my opinion, the era of relying on these massive exchanges for anything outside of exposure is coming to an end. I firmly believe that Shido is starting that revolution.
Yes. I believe if you look around the DeFi space, you know, there are a lot of tryhards out there there are wallets everywhere. People are crying out for wallets. Like having a database, a website to attach your wallet to with just basic functionality in the wallet isn't going to cut anymore. People want blockchain was invariably going to have to be a handheld issue anyway. It was always meant to be this way. When Satoshi Nakamoto first created Bitcoin, he created to be a decentralized ecosystem to which the average individual could carry their money anywhere, anytime. It just stands to reason that a portable wallet that encompasses all the aspects of financial instruments would evolve underneath that yoke. And we've gotten to that point to now where it's time. It's past time. There are too many liquidity issues on centralized exchanges, too many hacks. The fact that they report your information on every single trade, you're just too overexposed. It's supposed to be a decentralized experience, but when you go on centralized exchanges, it's centralized. It's no different than putting your money into Goldman Sachs. They're going to report you. It's no different than putting your money into America TD Trade. They're going to report every trade you make there. We're not doing that. This is going to be a decentralized DeFi wallet that will allow people to not only do cross-chain swaps against fiat incoming and outgoing, but you'll also be able to come in and play long and short trades in real time. You won't have to put a call in and go through a broker and have him do it and miss your entry point. You can do it for yourself. And that's what it comes down to. You're removing the friction. That's what Bjorn really comes. He's removing. Right. He's removing the friction. That's what it really comes down to me. He's removing the friction. And he's opening up doorways for people who can't get into crypto. Those are the real two main things that he's doing, in my opinion.
Right. You know, I titled this show tonight, "Is an Eruption Imminent?" Because I want you guys to understand, right? Like Arno was preaching, right? And I use this word all the time. We are on the precipice of change. What is happening right now? You know, Bitcoin and ETH and BSC, we just had a shock freaking bottom on the market, right? And now we're recovering. We are getting closer to being at the bottom of this bear market. The bull run is coming. I think it's going to be around January, February. By the time we hit January, February, all of our utility will be flushed out and fully functional, and we will be well under the development of our layer 1 blockchain. We will be primed to hit this bull run with an option that has never been seen in DeFi before. Go ahead, Arno. You said you wanted to add something.
Let me add this one too. When in relationship to bull runs and how things. Yeah, I don't know if I'm coming in late or not, but
no, you're good.
I just wanted to say that in relationship to how runs happen, periods are not just minutes, hours, or days, or weeks, or months. They're also yearly and decade. Recoveries happen over years, people. Like there are micro corrections even within monthly movements. Yeah, I understand that. That's what a bull run and a bear cycle basically is. You take an extreme broad view of that period. If you're talking years, then a micro movement could be a matter of months. If it's a matter of months, then it's a matter of weeks. It's a matter of weeks, a matter of days, and so forth and so forth. Right now, we're going into that next movement. We've already gone through this period of correction on a yearly scale. Now we're getting to the point to where we've gotten to that bottom and we're finding that support, and now it's time to rise. Because if you notice, we're nowhere near where we were back in 2018, where we were near 400 million market cap. Anybody take notice of that? Why everybody's thinking about, oh, woe is me, we're nowhere near where we were in 2018. Not even close in market cap. Obliterating that number. We have to recover $4.3 trillion last year. $4.3 trillion recovery before we get to a bull run. There are people out there holding bags that are 75% less what they were when they first bought in. That's what a recovery is. People don't understand. People are holding bags that have to recover, or they hope that they do, and then it comes in. Well, maybe I should stay in. Maybe I should put some more money in, and that's what triggers your bull run. The speculation aspect that will come once those recoveries finally get put back in track. And again, back to what you were saying, this wallet performing all of these financial actions will be in there. How many people would like to go ahead and put long positions during a bull run? I know I would.
No, a lot.
I'll put a long position on. A long position in the. Hey, you want a long Bitcoin with me? I'll do it. I'll take a big long position, 100x long.
Oh yeah, because we know you're looking at the top of Bitcoin around 2025, baby. Let's long that for a good 2 years and just make buco freaking bucks.
Or you can long it for the next second, make a quick couple bucks, take it back to Ethereum.
Right.
I look at to me the perpetual trading lending. To me, I know that this is probably a juvenile way of looking at it, but I see it as Vegas. It's basically just like Vegas. To me, that's the way I look at it. It's just you're coming in, you place your bets, you take your position on an X, anywhere 1 to 100, and you make your move. If you crap out, you crap out. You come back in with some more, you put some more. If you make it, you take it out and you try to make some more. That's if you're doing that's if you're doing collateralized loans. If you're doing uncollateralized loans, you have a better protection net there, and that's a little bit more deeper. I'll get some more information on that. But from what I understand, collateralized loans have a protection that keeps you from losing your entire investment.
Right.
From what I understand, I do a little bit more research on that. But
you're right. The other one I want to touch on too, and I mentioned this. I saw it the other day. Bjorn is about to put loan sharks out of business. You heard about that, right? Being able to take a loan out against your crypto with 0% interest. Did you hear about that? Yeah, that's
no,
coming in the.
Go on. Tell me about
That's coming in the perpetual platform. You will literally be able to, like, every payday loan company in the world right now has got to be crying if they're listening, because these assholes, and I can tell you, I was a victim of one. I got a loan shark. He ain't nice. He likes to nibble. He's a pain in the ass, and I'm getting him paid off. But my point here, I say that openly because I want people to understand that, like, hey, I took out a payday loan to pay something, and I didn't really read the fine print of 220% interest. So it's like $12 a day. That shit sucks. Yeah, you never get it paid off. I'm going to use myself as an example here. I don't care. I'm not worried about it. My point is, don't do that kind of shit when you can now go to the perpetual lending platform and take it. Let's say you don't want to sell your Shido bag, but man, dude, you want to go take care of something right now. You need $2,000. You could take out that $2,000 loan against your Shido on a term or whatever crypto you want. And if you don't pay it back within that term, they just take your crypto and pay that amount off. But there's 0 interest on your loan. That's coming in the perpetual platform. Show me where the hell another crypto is offering you that 100x long and short lending positions and everything else that Shido-Finance is bringing to the table. There isn't a project doing that.
Oh god!
I mean,
so many aspects. Thing.
It is, dude. It's
bigger,
a complete financial ecosystem. It's a complete financial ecosystem.
It's exactly what it is.
It's insane.
It encompasses everything. It encompasses everything of other instruments and puts it in the DeFi sector.
And it goes right back to the video we watched with Vitalik. It goes right back to the video of Vitalik had a roadmap, right? And a timeline on his own timeline. He was going to accomplish A through Z. And if you wanted to come along for the ride, you could buy a bag and you could see what happens. But he, in his mind, already knew where Ethereum was going, right? Bjorn is the exact same way. Bjorn has a roadmap.
Right. That was my whole point of bringing that comparison up. That was my whole point of bringing that comparison up between gentlemen like this. And it isn't just Vitalik. You can go look at the guys behind Solana. Go look at the Solana early videos if you want to. These are a bunch of guys sitting around wearing, Nintendo T-shirts, talking about a proof of time concept. At the time, it was something new. No one knew what it was. That could upscale past what Ethereum was doing at the time, which is now, they were doing, I think, about 3,000 TPS. I mean, Solana does about 50,000 TPS. I think that's what we're going to be trying to do with our chain. But
right.
You just go back and look at all the captains of industry, how they started. They all have the same look, at least for the ones that end up being, what I call cornerstone cryptos. They all have the same look. They don't care about their initial view or how they're viewed. All they care about is the facts and being hyper logical and being 100% ingrained into their mission. You look at Bjorn, you look at Vitalik, you look at the guys behind Solana, you look at the guys behind Avalanche. Go back, look at the guy, I think his name was Charlie Lee, the guy behind Litecoin when it first began. Look at all these guys. They are all the same. That same grainy footage, sitting down somewhere, getting interviewed by someone in a place that no one knows, talking about the most high brain stuff you can think of. And nobody in the crypto space cares because, the price isn't high because they're not, there's no green candles on your chart. That's why that no one cares.
Right.
Because they don't understand what drives value in the dream.
Exactly, dude. And it's so many
it's
people
all
that
about
it's not mooning. We're not on 100 exchanges. I can't invest in this coin. And then out of the blue, this coin is worth $30 or $10 or $5. And all these people whine and cry and go, man, if I had only just invested when you had the chance. But because you were too blinded by this mentality, you didn't do it.
know what they should be saying, Valhalla? Not that they shouldn't invest it. If I only educated myself on the fundamentals of what makes DeFi valuable,
Well,
I
that's
would have
what I'm
known to
saying.
make the right decision.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what I'm
It starts
saying.
with
is
the
all
throw some money at something, but what keeps getting good investments is knowing what drives DeFi, what makes things valuable, what is coming. You gotta be able to see around corners, and that's where the DeFi savvy person keeps that money on the sidelines, waiting for a project like this to come along, so they can make that big infusion, make that big investment, and ride it all the way home, and maybe sell 1% of their investment and live like kings the rest of their life. Like
exactly,
1%,
man.
they're good. You know, you don't have to sell the rest of it.
I mean, it was funny. Like, I'm gonna share. I had a conversation with my boss today. He knows that I'm in crypto, right? He made the comment. He's like, yeah, man, when are you gonna be a millionaire? And I responded back. I said, sooner than you know. And he paused and turned and he goes, really? And I said, let me show you some math. Let me show you some numbers. And so, he liked to do some math. And he's in the back doing his monthly expenses, right? And I said, do you remember a couple months ago, Darren, when I told you, like, sand in an hourglass, my time with you is coming to an end. And before you realize it, there will be a day where my keys will be on the counter, and I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry, I can't come into work. And he was like, yeah, I remember that conversation. And I said, that is about 6 months away, if not sooner. And he was like, are you kidding me right now? And I said, no, I'm being straight up serious with you, because I understand what I'm invested in and I know where it's going. And when I started laying this down and explaining it, he knows nothing about crypto, and he knew enough from that conversation to say, shit, I need to put $1,000 into this. Just by the fundamentals. And I broke it down. I said, okay, understand. Because he's a stock trader. So we started with perpetual longs to shorts. And I said, well, how would you like to be able to long and short any position you want instantly, right from your phone, right on the wallet? He's like, well, that would be pretty damn cool. I said, you wouldn't have to call your broker, right? And he's like, well, yeah, I wouldn't have to do any of that shit. I said, you passed about 15 different steps. And he was like, well, yeah. I was like, cool, we're doing that. How would you like to be able to take out a loan against your crypto and never pay an interest fee on it? Just pay it back in the term, or they'll automatically take what you owe. And he was like, well, that's pretty damn cool. And we just went down what we talked about tonight. And by the time the end of this, he knows nothing about crypto, but he now understands, okay, I'm going to go do some education, because I got an employee sitting here telling me my time with you is real damn short. And I've been with the company for 3 years. I'm one of the best he's got. And TikTok, motherfucker, because time's running out.
Like, yeah, I like to say, one of my sayings, a financial instrument by any other name is the same. Exactly. These instruments are very transmutable. You put them in stocks, they work. You put them in crypto, they work. You're just transmuting numbers. It really comes down to the ease and the openness in which you can get your money into and then be able to control it. And what Bjorn's doing right now, he's taking all of that and putting it in play. Like, these instruments, there have been other in my time in crypto, I was actually involved with another DeFi wallet that back in 2018, they were trying something like this with their own DeFi wallet, but they weren't able to get off the ground because they were so new. They didn't, like, it was such a new idea, having a decentralized wallet with a debit card. They made mistakes that no one had ever made before. Because the idea was so new. And usually when you're the first one, you're going to make mistakes. And sometimes the mistakes you make could be defining ones.
Right.
But I think the cryptocurrency space right now is at a point to where there have been so many mistakes made that you can learn from others. And it doesn't surprise me that he's moving as fast as he has, because he's, and on top of that too, there are so many other cryptocurrency businesses out there that are willing to accommodate now, as opposed to it was 6 years ago. You don't have as much, oh, what is this? There's not this veil of, mysteriousness about crypto anymore. So you have all of these factors coming together at one time for the perfect storm, in addition to the bull run that's coming. That I think Shido right now is going to go on one of the most epic runs that we have ever seen in the crypto space. And that's not me saying that just to my back over.
Do you know the answer to this question here from Magic? I'm not sure if Bjorn has. I thought Bjorn talked about this, but I don't know the specifics. It says, is it possible to direct deposit my paycheck to Shido Bank? If so, how? I think Bjorn mentioned that he's looking into a way to do this if you wanted your checks to be deposited to the bank. I don't know exactly how that would work out, though, especially, from Europe to Africa to Australia to the U.S. There's going to be a lot of different policies that would have to be looked at.
Right.
So I'm not sure.
It's all going to come down to routing.
Right.
It's going to come down to a routing system, and the third party would definitely be handling that through the bank, because the bank would take it, and then if you were going to deposit into just direct dollars, then you can just do it through your bank, and then they go ahead and just put it on an instant infusion. You could do it that way. But if you want to go into crypto directly, that's something I don't know. You got to talk about Bjorn with that one. But
yeah, well, to mention that segue.
But hopefully, I'm saying this jokingly. Hopefully soon, you won't worry about you won't need any paychecks. Hopefully so.
Right. Put those paychecks in now, so later you ain't got to worry about it. To echo the point.
You don't want to be the guy. Let me get this in. You don't want to be the guy bringing up the rear, buying this token at 16 cents, getting your 5,000 shares.
Oh God,
that's what it's going to be.
It's going to go to $50.
Get the token at 16 cents. Yeah, bro. How much you got? 6,000. Damn. Wow.
I only got to hold till it's at $50. Sell the house. Sell the dog. God damn.
You bought it 16 for early.
Oh,
I remember.
Terrible.
I remember the XRP experience. People were buying, I remember a guy was on stream bragging about having 10,000 XRP. I shit you not. Bragging about 10,000. Are you kidding me? And at the time, I didn't know any better because I was still so new. I didn't know what the token supply was. When I found out, I was like, dude, there are people out there with 100 million, 200 million XRP at a price of $3.
Yeah, I think I ate stupid early.
Oh, and he's talking about, I got 10,000, man. We're going to $500. I'm like, possibly so, but you got a long wait, buddy.
You got a long wait ahead of you. To touch on this point real quick, we do have an AMA with Bjorn Thursday, bright and early in the morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. For me, that'd be 9 a.m. for Arno. And I'm not sure what that is in UTC. You can Google it and find out. But we always have a timer going in our Telegram chat, which will count down to the millisecond of that AMA. So, Magic, I would encourage you, be in the AMA. If he doesn't address it, cue on Twitter, cue your mic so you can speak. He will pull you up, ask your question, and we will get that answered for you. Absolutely. And then Larry Appleton, welcome. Good to see you again. Oh, God, it's been a long day. I'm sorry. Larry says, let's go Shido. This project is a blue chip in the making. I'm going to correct you. It's a cornerstone crypto in the making. We're above that of a blue chip.
Cornerstone, bro.
Cornerstone, baby. Cornerstone. We don't care about
the Ethereum, the BNBs, BTCs, the Litecoin, the tokens that have all the peggings. You either have the pegging, you have extreme notoriety. BTC, in its own way, even though it doesn't have real utility per se, it is a cornerstone because of the extreme utility and the peggings it has. So I don't care that it doesn't have utility. The peggings makes it a cornerstone. Ethereum, because it brought in dApps. It brought in dApps and showed that it could be successful. Cornerstone crypto. XRP, the first real pre-mined token to really be put out there in excess and show that it could work. Then you have Litecoin, the fork of Bitcoin in a greater supply, but with a far greater scaling ability to be able to transact. That helped. Now you have tokens that are going to come in that were later, like Monero, privacy tokens, another cornerstone token. You saw what that did. Now you have a DeFi token that will govern transactions within a decentralized finance capacity. It will be a cornerstone token. This will be a token that you will talk about when you do business through crypto. It won't be the only one, but it will be the first one. There will be others to follow, but it won't be. But we will be there, and everything that's going on right now with this token, everything that's going on right now with this token in the crypto space is just lining up perfect. It's really the perfect storm. Like this is the holy grail. Like you dream about being early in a project that's going to build its own blockchain.
You do, man.
You can't find a greater. That's the type of stuff you just sit around with your friends and just say, hey, what if we could get like early in a blockchain? That'd be cool, huh? Wouldn't that be cool? You don't ever expect it because it's so rare.
Well,
it's very rare to get early. I mean, it's one thing to get. It's one thing to get there when they're developing.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I was saying it's rare to get there when they're developing, but to get there when they're implementing, that's special. That's special.
The best part about this, if you go back to, I believe it's our second broadcast, we were actually hypothesizing the potential if Shido, and we had no idea, was to make a blockchain. We even called it Shido Chain. We were like, well, what if they came out with Shido Chain? And me and Arno were sitting here just throwing hypothesis after hypothesis of what the hell would happen if Shido developed a blockchain. So you can imagine our shock, because we had no idea this was coming. And we're sitting in Telegram the day this shit was announced, watching the Binance AMA, and we both went, what the fuck? Like, we're on the ground floor of a layer 1 blockchain. Oh my god.
Game over.
Game over.
I instantly sent Valhalla a price message like, this is what you can expect. This is what you can.
And what was my 4-letter response to you with an exclamation point at the end?
Yeah, well, let's just say it has a lot to do. It rhymes with luck, which is what we all have for being here.
It rhymes with luck and it starts with an F. And it was in caps. And you've got to be kidding me right now.
What you can expect, bro. You're dealing with that token supply, with that type of initiative, a DeFi wallet. There's just no way it's going to be fractionary, let alone cents. I mean, fractionary token with all that. Come on.
Right. Well, and I was telling my bosses this morning when we were talking, right? I was like, look, so understand, with all of this bullish tech, even if it only goes to 25 cents, everyone that bought in, that's holding a decent bag, you make generational wealth. But we've still failed as a project. If we only go to 25 cents, we have failed in our mission. And now that's a glorious failure, and I will take it. And I'm a happy man, and everyone's a happy individual. But we failed. We failed in our mission.
Funny.
Because this is a cornerstone project.
Yes, it is. You said 25 cents and we failed.
25 cents and we failed. Am I wrong? Am I wrong in that context?
Man, at 25 cents, staking as much as I'm staking, hey, there's a lot to be learned from that moral victory. I'll tell you that.
oh yeah, Club Med, baby. But my point is, as a project, that would be viewed as we did not accomplish what we meant to, because that should be in the multi-dollars of price points.
Yeah, you're dealing with a blockchain project that's going to be housing decentralized applications, and the throughput is most likely. Bjorn has not announced what the throughput's going to be, but I'm suspecting it's going to be somewhere around 20,000 TPS at the bare minimum. Now the burn rate, I'm hoping it's going to be somewhere between 0.05 per transaction. If we get that, we
haven't even talked about that part. We haven't even talked about the built-in burn mechanism coming in the chain.
Right. We did on the last stream. I did a little bit of math on what you could expect the tokens to be burnt off at the rate. I did that last time on the last stream. But again, it's all hypothetical because Bjorn has not announced any of the math behind that yet, or the TPS.
We'll leave that until we know.
Right. But I just gave a ball. If you had that many transactions at that burn rate, you guys go check the last stream that we had. You can pretty much see the numbers what you could expect to burn off per month in token supply. And of course, token supply will go down because the price is going up. because the price now can substantiate and feed off the liquidity providers. So it's a squeeze play, which is what you want.
Yeah, right here. Magic says, I love burning mechanisms. We all love the burn. And we're not even, in the math we did yesterday, we weren't even adding in the burns on the decks. We were just strictly talking about the blockchain burn. You got to also factor the burns on the decks combined.
I'm talking just like, you just get 100 projects on that chain, man. You're just 100. Just 100. And Bjorn has it set up to where they can just pour it over. It's like, it's complete 100% portability. You can just literally take your DApp on whatever blockchain that you're on, your Avalanche, Solana, hopefully ERC20. Get those guys that are on the lower end that are competing and bring them over here. They load up on Shido chain tokens so they can get proof of stake going, and they're off to the races.
Yep,
which is great for us.
I believe you said that ERC20. And speaking of price, let's take one last look tonight at this reversal. Look at this. Right here, boom. As we've been talking tonight, the buys have been pouring in on BNB 1292. After that hellacious retraction, that retracement was brutal today. Like, let's not lie.
Showed a chart. Yeah, I showed a chart earlier about us. I didn't expect it to be this dramatic, but yeah, we've reversed because I knew that we were that pump down we had earlier was pretty ginormous, but I thought that we would find support. But as you can see, this is the weekly, right?
Yeah, this is on the weekly. Let's go to the 30-minute.
Here, the first candle is that's our present position right now, guys. The previous week that was the all-time. Let's stay on the weekly right now. Let's stay on the weekly for right now.
You want to go on the weekly?
That's the one I really want to focus on.
All right, there you go.
That's the one that you really right. You want to focus on that one because that really tells the story of Shido right now. If you look at it, look at where we are. Like each one of these periods represents 1 week of Shido price action, people. Now, if you take a look at that first candle all the way to the right, that's where we are right now. We reversed the trend, and we're finding support. Now, look at the previous week where we had the all-time high. That all-time high, we have to go up now and meet that organically. And what I mean by that is having a full candle meet that wick. From that point on, we'll establish a new pattern and capture a new high. Because if you go back and zoom back on the previous weeks, that's where the trend is at. We establish that high, and then we meet, and then we come out and we establish a new one until we trend out, and then start the pattern over again. But at every single movement, you see us establish a new high and a new low at every single pattern. This is why I keep saying about Shido, the long-term price trend is strong. I mean, look at that.
Over here. Let's go over to the Ethereum side too. Just as strong. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as B Roots said, it's the best chart in crypto right now, according to B Roots.
You know what? Let's play that shit one more time. Let's play that video one more time for everybody. Why the hell not? We played it at the start of the stream. We'll play it towards the end of it. One more time.
That's good enough.
All right. Let me find it. God damn it, down here with. Hold on. God, dude, I tweet way too much shit. There we are. All right, here we go.
It's a good problem.
Here we go. One more time for everybody tonight. Listen up.
I can't get enough.
You missed that?
Yeah, you're
you heard the original one. You heard the original one, and then they came back on.
And then that's when you bought?
I bought, yeah. It's probably the best chart in crypto.
News.
Let's see. Besides ETH 2.0.
Besides Volt.
And Volt.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, Volt is not at all-time high. This surpassed an all-time high. It's been out for a while.
That's a 6 million market cap. We're talking about 250 million. This is apples to oranges, baby.
It's still not the best chart.
We're talking about the big leagues.
60% from the all-time high.
We're talking about big leagues.
Oh, it's
Shido changing logo. Yeah, I like Shido. I was like, yeah, I like Shido.
It's 6 million market cap.
So I want to touch on one thing there that Jake Gagan said, right? That he's talking the big leagues with Volt. Well, let me explain something there, right? With what is being built with Shido and the fact that there is no other project that even remotely comes near the level of utility and the governance that this project has with Shido as its main governance token, you're about to see the big leagues in the way of utility And I'm going to tell you right now, Shido is the king of utility in the DeFi space, and there is not a project that's about to dethrone it. That's just me. That's me.
Let me chime into that. Remember where I was talking about with Vitalik Buterin and guys like that have DeFi projects that are not respected early because they don't have a lot of, hype per se. This is what I'm talking about. The gentleman, Jake Gagan, a respected individual. I have a lot of respect for him, but he's putting a lot of focus on the market cap now and not the actual project that is putting out utility for the future. The big leagues will come once they get up to bat. And when they see the stroke that this batter has, let me tell you, Babe Ruth going to be asking for some directions. Okay.
You better have your shit strapped in. That's all I gotta say.
Man, you better have 110-mile-an-hour heat. You want to get something past this guy at the plate. That's all I got to say. Because Shido gets swinging. There's just way too much utility coming out with this thing. I mean, forget all the technical talk. It's just way too thick. The project is too thick. Okay, in the finance sector, it's just too thick. You got too many options in the finance sector being released against a very minute supply, a token supply. For goodness sakes, it's only 48 billion on each side, with more burns to come with a burning mechanism on both the DEX as well as the blockchain when it gets unleashed.
As well as manual buybacks and burns from the dev.
There you go.
Deflationary as a project can ever hope to get.
While at the same time providing every single decentralized finance concern that there is.
Yep.
Jesus, there's nothing more to be said.
There's not. What I put on Twitter, and I will go on record saying it, is 2023 is the year of Shido, and one way or another, whether you like it or you love it, you will in some way, form, or fashion interact with Shido's utilities. It's inevitably going to happen. It's going to happen.
It's just
one way or another. You're going to come to the yard and you're going to utilize Shido.
Yeah.
So with that, man,
she
is thick, man. She bringing all the boys to the yard. Oh man, we've been going on about an hour and 40 minutes. I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Final thoughts. We got another comment from Magic. So we are future millionaires, multimillionaires. You are the next generation of whales in the crypto space. Hold your bag. Not financial advice, financial wisdom. Add to your position. Hold your shit and get ready, because when this bull run starts, before the bull run, let me correct myself. We'll be in my Arno. Do you believe we'll see a penny before the bull run?
Absolutely. Not financial advice. I'll go on record as saying this. I'll go on record within 4 to 6 months with full integrations and utility of the wallet, we should be at 10 cents within 4 to 6 months. Of
10 cents. Oh, we lost Arno. He'll be right back. Connectioners. 4 to 6 months. You're hearing the man tell you 4 to 6 months with full implementation of the utility. He's expecting 10 cents. God damn, that's a bullish prediction. That's a bold, bullish prediction. But I'm going to echo it because I firmly believe that this utility is groundbreaking. There is nothing like it in the DeFi space. So far, nobody has been able to successfully replicate or build something better than what Bjorn is bringing to the table. I'm going to bring Arno back in here. Man, we lost you in the middle of that epic speech, bro.
Oh, okay. Can you guys hear me still?
Yeah, we got you, brother. Yeah, we got you.
I was just basically what I was trying to convey is within 4 to 6 months of full implementation and full utility of the wallet, not the blockchain, the wallet, we should be at around 10 cents, 8 cents, 9 cents. You get the point. It's roundabout figure. We're not going to be fractionary, I'll tell you that. It ain't going to be fractionary. No chance.
The days of fractionary is coming to an end. It's coming to an end quick. All right, man. Well, final thoughts, Arno. What do you got for us tonight?
My final thoughts is everybody out there who is listening. I don't know if you're in the Shido chat or not. I just want to tell people out there, Bjorn Usually, I'm not really a social media guy under any circumstances, except this one, because this is a situation where you have a dev who is basically giving you information that cannot be argued with. All you have to do is get out there and share it. So if everybody that's listening here could go out here and just make just one tweet per day, and then share your tweet in the Shido chat, and then everybody else go ahead and retweet that person's tweet and like it, and add the links and the posters to Bjorn's AMAs as well as the utility. That would be a big help, because it's really right now, and it's not. And don't get me wrong, this isn't going to last 2 months longer. Once we have deployment of just the Visa card and the atomic swaps, at that point it'll go up or down. But in the time in between, we have a chance to possibly increase our price floor on speculative buying. And what that means is you have people seeing what the project is going to do utility-wise and buying in with the expectation of what utility will be when it is rendered. They're not buying in for a quick swing trade or a pump and dump in a 24-hour period. They're buying in because they see, oh, DEX with burns. Oh, cross-chain swap within our wallet. Oh, perpetual trade lending. Oh, my goodness, staking options. Oh, my goodness, they have this and this and this. I want to be a part of that. And the price is such. Oh, there's 7 million market cap. I got to get in. That's why you want them. We're not talking about going after John at 7-Eleven. They're not going to buy. I get all that. I'm talking about the DeFi savvy people out there who are looking and watching, waiting for projects like this one to come along so they can put that USDT they have on the sidelines that's just waiting to go in. If we can get the project in their eyes, into the eyes of the DeFi savvy who has that money on the sidelines waiting to come in, we can push the price for up 25 million, possibly even 50 million. I think it should be there because we're vastly undervalued. I would much rather see us launch all utility from a higher price point than where we're at right now. And we can help that initiative if every man, woman, and child just makes one tweet a day, retweet your tweet, like it, add the links, and then share everybody else's. That would be a great help. So that's all I have to say about that.
I'm gonna echo it, man. That is, God. On that note, dude, just looking, man. The buys, just like, check this out, man. The buys just keep pouring in. Another $790 buy right here. Brand new holder, might I add you, on the BNB side. Congratulations, 6 million tokens. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming fast.
That's gonna be strong.
It's coming. Yeah, it's coming quick. So, yeah, it's a good position to be in. Anything above 1 million tokens, you're sitting pretty. Honestly, you know, I'm gonna echo a lot of what you said tonight, Arno. It's really the fundamentals, guys. We got to get out there. We got to keep tweeting the fundamentals. I know the Moon Boy shit is fun. The to the moon rocket emojis, it's great, it's fun, but it's not going to get us where we need to be, right? Speculative buying, and I'm going to give you a keen example. B Roots, the Moon King himself, that was a speculative buy. That was not, I'm just going to pump and dump. That's a man who's holding a bag because he said one thing. And I'm going to echo this tweet over and over again. A project that is building a layer 1 blockchain at a $7 million market cap is a project not to be missed. I'm not a fool. Those are B Root's exact words on a tweet. So you take that for what it is. But when B Roots is telling you, hey man, I ain't no idiot, and I know where this is going, and he puts the amount of Ethereum he did into this project, you better pay attention. Because your time is ticking away. You sit on the sidelines on this too much longer, there is going to come a time where one Ethereum, it's going to be like the Shiba days where one Ethereum bought you like 500,000 tokens, and you thought you were a god for having 500,000 tokens, when there's people sitting on the top with 1 billion and hundreds of millions living their dream life because they realized there was an opportunity early. Do not be the person that's holding a bag because they bought too damn late and they didn't pay attention to the utility. Do not be that person. Get in, get a bag. Not financial advice, financial guidance. My opinion, fill your bags, hold your position, get a position, and strap the hell in, because this ride is going to be something that the DeFi space has never ever seen before. This will be the equivalent to the Shiba run of 2021 when it comes to utility, because DeFi. Excuse me. Grab a drink real quick here. Oh Lord, that was rough.
Choked up.
A little bit, man. The DeFi world has never seen what the hell is about to happen when it comes to utility. Every project out there talks a big game, and 90% of those projects fail to deliver. This space right now, so many people are just on the hype train meme coin bullshit, and I'm going to tell you, hey, that's all good and fun. There's a time for meme coins, and there's a time for execution and action that unites the DeFi and the crypto space together, and that is Shido-Finance. Get a bag, get a position, stop sitting on the sidelines, because you're going to regret this one if you do.
Do it.
Just don't get wrecked. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just don't be the person holding 5,800 tokens when the price is at 59 cents.
Don't be the person waiting for
Like
$500 to live your dreams.
Like I will XRP. 100 billion token supply. And you're talking about 50.
You know, I'll tell you a
27.
quick funny story with XRP, man. This is before I really started taking crypto seriously. My buddy kept trying to get me to buy that shit, and I was like, dude, just to get you to stop bugging me, I'll throw $20 in this shit. I still hold it today. Well, because right now I can't sell it. It's sitting on Coinbase. But still, the point was, like, I threw $20 and it ran up to like $300 something. And I looked at it and I was like, Jesus Christ. But small fish, man. But if I would have listened and I would have thrown $200 or $300 into it at the time, could have been a killing. You live and you learn. Do not be the person that regrets not buying into Shido-Finance. Don't listen to the bullshit. Don't listen to the uneducated rhetoric that's out there on Twitter and other influencers. Because here's the thing, man. Bottom line, I feel like the DeFi space tries to cannibalize itself more than it does actually help itself. So many projects, man. People get so glued and married to a project. I'm diversified. I support two totally different tokens back to back, Alcazar and Shido. And I've got other projects that I'm invested in as well. I don't marry myself to one project. I devote a lot of time to Shido because I firmly believe in where we're going. But my point here is that so many communities like, oh my God, rah, this community cannot exist. Rah, we're better than this. Knock the shit off, guys. Like, you're not better than anyone else. And if you're not bringing the level of utility that Shido's bringing to the table, stay in your own lane. If you're a meme coin, get in your own lane. Get out of the utility lane. If you're not bringing utility to the forefront and uniting the DeFi and crypto world, you don't have room to talk. That's the bottom line.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's it's okay to have fun with meme tokens. That's great. I mean,
I agree. 100%.
My thing is let's have higher IQ discussions about crypto. Can we all agree? Let's show the respect that crypto deserves. Crypto is still so new. It deserves your research. It deserves your respect. Get out there, search out terms. If you don't know what an atomic swap is, just type it in Google. It will change your life.
Right.
Just what is an atomic swap? And you understand what that does against a token when it goes through and what it does to price action. And then understand what our DEX is going to be doing, because we're going to be having, for the first time, limit orders on atomic swaps. Please, people, do your research on what that's going to mean. That's your homework for anybody out there. Go out there and research what limit orders and buy orders are and what they will do for atomic swaps. That's everybody's homework that's listening.
I got one more for it before we end this out. Go do some research on what a governance token does and what that does for the price action of that token. That's governing all of that utility. Because that exactly, right? Hit it right on the nail. Ethereum. Ethereum is a governance token of all altcoins.
Right. It's that's why I said you can make this make the case it's the greatest crypto of all time, but according to market cap, it's the second greatest. But in terms of what its impact that it's had, you can make the case that Ethereum is the greatest token of all time. You can
Yeah,
make the
because
case.
none of this would exist without Ethereum.
Exactly.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we're
It's
coming
set
up
the
on
tone.
2 hours. Oh, go ahead, Arno. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it set the tone for what's going on right now, and yeah, we're coming up on 2 hours. I need to get my ass some sleep too. So go ahead and close it out, Val.
We're closing it out, brother. I will see everybody next Tuesday, episode 7, same time as usual. We'll be on here preaching, talking about the utility, talking about the message. Guys, please do me a favor. Get your thumbs to work. Get on Twitter. Shill the post that me and Arno are putting in that chat daily. We spend half our time during the day in that Twitter or in that Telegram group putting posts together for you guys to go shill. It's not a waste of your time. It has an impact. Please go shill the posts. Like, retweet, recomment. Go ahead, Arno.
Right. It will have a impact. I'm sorry, but it's not going to be a situation that we're going to get instant gratification. This is going to have a long-term effect.
Right.
If we do it every single day, the words that we're using, Shido-Finance, the utility that we're talking about, will get highly, if nothing else, it'll get optimized and it'll come up in search engines. People will be able to see it. And because of how Bjorn operates, the stuff speaks for itself. That's why I'm doing this. I'm meeting Bjorn halfway because he's giving it to me. He's giving it to us straight. There are no mysteries here. He's putting it out there. Everything, it's fire and forget market. This is not shilling. This is fire and forget marketing. This is marketing.
Sure.
There's something to actually talk about. This isn't just, oh yeah, moon boy, rocket ship and fireballs. No, this is a guy who has literally given you multiple AMAs with a clear roadmap, with posters that clearly define what the utility is going to be. You have the definable, you have a white paper that clearly outlines everything. And you have the wallet. We have hardware. You can literally get the wallet right. Go see for yourself.
Spot on, brother. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Arno, appreciate you coming on, co-hosting as usual. Great show. We'll see all of you guys in Telegram tomorrow. Get this out there. Do us a favor with this. It's not for me. It's not for Arno. It's for the sake of what we talk about and for the sake of the project. Get this out on Twitter and get it going viral. So if people aren't in our Telegram chat, they can come here and they can get the same information that they would get from Telegram and Twitter. It's another outlet to get the information out there to everybody. And Arno, I think you'd agree with that.
Yes, everybody. Do you want to be rich today or tomorrow? Let's get our price pool up to 50 million.
If you say no, you don't want to get rich, then do me a favor and DM me so I can buy your bag, and I'll let you go ahead and head on down the road.
And on that one, I will say good night.
Good night, guys. Have a great one. Arno, we'll talk later. You guys have a great one, and we'll see you all next Tuesday. Have a good night.
Night.